So let's talk about the day. If there's an auction you want to watch, if there's anyone that's an aspiring auctioneer that wants to see how to create, hey, Flinny, great video you did of me, very kind of you as well. Hey, Ryan, if there's anyone wants to watch, an aspiring auctioneer wants to see in one auction, humor, momentum bidding, fear of loss, the auctioneer taking control and selling the property for $350,000 over the reserve. The reserve was $1,500,000 and it sold for $1,850,000. I think $1,860,000. And I've got to tell you, when you watch that auction, you will see at one stage the bidding go crazy over 30 seconds, where I'm calling one bid after the other with no time for anyone to say anything. And I've got to tell you, some of the stuff you'll see that I do with auctions, including telling people I'm not calling it on the market, that courage to do all of that stuff has taken 25 years to do it in 30 seconds. But let's talk about what actually happened. So today was 4 out of 4, and all 4 were decent properties. And that include the sold priors. So 100% clearance rate. And I've got to let you know that I've made up my mind that in the coming 30-day boot camp that I'm doing that starts on Monday, and if you've waited to the last minute, now is the last minute. If you go to tompanos.com.au and just press on the link, I'm going to actually do a module where I'm going to show you the quiet conversations I have with a vendor, the quiet conversations I have with the hottest buyers, the quiet conversations I have with the agents, and I'm just going to pretty much give you the backstage view. You obviously only hear the bidding. You don't actually hear what is said. And a lot of the real estate agents that I do auctions for the first time get really surprised because I'm a reverse psychology auctioneer. I unsell to sell. I'll say that again. I unsell to sell. What happens is when the agent hears what I say to a vendor, the agent thinks, wow, why is he saying that? I thought he'd actually try and get my owner to understand that they should be putting the property on the market. And I've got a great theory, and maybe it's the fact that I was studied psychology in both my undergrad and my postgrad. And that is that if you want to win share of wallet, you've got to win share of heart. And share of heart has to be earned. And when you've only got a short period of time to earn share of heart, you've got to actually have what I call strategic empathy. And strategic empathy is basically you know where you're heading, but at the same time, you've actually got to have this strong connection where the person feels that you're auctioning their property as if it was your mum's property, as if it was your kid's property. And I can pretty much tell you that's one of my key strategies in the first 1 minute of meeting an owner is to take away fear and bring in safety. You see, when you earn the right for safety, you then have got what I call trust. Hey, Chris, how you going? And when you've got trust in the relationship, when you go back and have the dialogue about, hey, I think you should do this, they listen to you. Strategic empathy is all about you being compassionate, but you also moving them forward. It is not an easy thing to do. A lot better if you're higher on the graph for EQ, and if you're in that ability where you can actually read the play, but you can improve your baseline figure. You can improve your baseline figure. There's no question about it. Guys, but here's my plan for you today. I believe that one of the most valuable phone calls that you can make is to someone on your chase list that you're chasing for a listing, and to ring them after hours. And I think that you ought to ring them like really late after hours on a Saturday. And the reason I say that is when you ring them very, very late after hours, It shows to them that you have got high work ethic. It shows to them that you are results oriented. It shows to them that you will do more for them than the other agent. So do that tonight, maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock, and call them for a good reason. Maybe give them a wrap up of what's actually happened in the market today. Maybe tell them about a result. Maybe tell them about a buyer that you met today that's actually looking exactly for their property. And I've got to tell you, right now, there are a bunch of vendors that plan to come onto the market soon, but I personally think that you should be signing them up right now. I think you should be ringing them up and saying, hey, listen, I know that you're not ready to launch, but actually let's just list now. And I'll tell you why. Because right at this moment, I've got certain people that are making contact with me that I think might buy your property, and I don't want to miss the opportunity. I don't want to put it on the market, but I do want to have the legal rights to show the property if there's a buyer there. And I simply can't do that. I can't have your property on the radar screen without some sort of authority. And what you should do is secure as much stock as you can as possible to the people that you got as high probabilities, high probs that are going to be coming onto the market in the next 2 months. And I think you need to secure it. And I think that one of the things that you've got to do is get onto these people. As Shane Beaumont has just said, they've got time to think right now. They've got time to think. That's another reason why you should be doing these after-hour calls, right? I've always had a belief that Saturday afternoon callbacks are the best. And for buyers, if you've got a buyer out there on a property that you think you've got a chance with and there's a bit of activity on the property, here's a bit of dialogue that will help you. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, the reason I'm calling you is we are talking to our vendors at the moment, and there is a possibility that this property may sell. Can I ask you, do you have any interest in this home? If they say yes, say great. Could I ask you, at what price level would you want us to exclude you? I need to know at what price level do I not bother you? And that is going to help you understand where they're at with price. Taney Jane is saying he's doing that right now. By the way, Taney Jane is a guy that gets home at 9:30, 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. Do you believe he actually writes out his reports for all his properties? He writes out his reports for all his properties on Saturday and then goes home. He does all his callbacks on a Saturday afternoon, gets the reports done, speaks to his vendors, tells them this is what's in your report, sends the report. He pretty much does that all on Saturday. Off the top of my head, he's going to do around 20 reports. And this is a guy that's working in an area which is in the COVID-19 hotspot, the Wyndham area. That's why he writes $1 million, and that's why he's a gun. So Shane Beaumont, who's on here, good on you, saying, and so's Jill from WA. Anyway, guys and girls, on that note, I'm going to sign off. I hope you've had a great day. Share the video if you like, and I'm going to be watching everyone else who does their market wrap. Signing off.